What is going on, everyone? It's Luke, and we are going to be ranking Five Nights at Freddy's characters. We're only going to be doing the first 4 games worth of characters just because I'm not too familiar with Sister Location yet. Plus, I feel like if I were to do all the characters, this would be a very long video. So we're just going to do the first 4. And so I don't think this is going to be too long of a video, but not too short of a video, because I'm going to actually put in my thoughts for each character and actually seem like I know what I'm doing, because I do know a lot about the characters. So we're just going to start off with the main man himself, Freddy. You know, you think that people would be like, oh, well, he's an S tier because the games are named after him and he has his own pizzeria and all that kind of stuff. And to some people, you know, I would agree with that, but basically, I like him. It's also in the game, he is like, he's scary enough to know that, like, to at the point where, obviously, if your power goes out, and this is the first game. So, according to the first game, when the power goes out is when he'll most likely attack you, other than later in the nights where he actually roams around. So that adds a little bit more of a scare factor to it. But basically, I'm gonna keep him at A, just because, not even because I feel like it's a respectable thing. Like, he's good. He's a good character. I don't, you know, him having the game after him and like the game's named after him, or the pizzeria, and have him be like the main animatronic, like for people to be attracted to. I'm not gonna put that, like, I'm not gonna let that affect me. So I think A is a good spot, but I will probably change my mind when we're done. But right now he's gonna stay with A. So we're gonna go with Bonnie. Bonnie is, oh man, he's like tied with my favorite, with Foxy. And I don't know why. I think like just his character, I like him. He is the first animatronic that you have to deal with in the first game. So I feel like he poses more of a threat than anything, because at least for Freddy, you gotta wait until like the 4th or 5th night until he actually starts roaming around. So if you're really bad with your power, you have to deal with Freddy. But Bonnie is just like a ready to go, ready to kill ya animatronic. So agree with me or not, he's S tier. Like, he's my absolute favorite. I can't really say why, but I kind of feel like I have to for the reasoning. But just like, overall, I just liked him. I feel like he's with Freddy. Like, Bonnie and Freddy are like the characters that you would think of when you see the original 4. You would be able to name Bonnie and Freddy. Like, those are the first 2 that you would say. You wouldn't go like Foxy, Chica, Freddy, Bonnie. There's like a name way you have to say it. You have to go like Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy. Like, it's that order. And not even like the golden, because I think the golden characters are on this list maybe later on, but this isn't the golden. These aren't the golden guys. So I feel like Bonnie S tier, Freddy A tier, good enough. I really like Bonnie. It's like, I can't say anything else. He plays an instrument. He's the only one that plays an instrument, really, which is kind of interesting, because Freddy like sings, Bonnie plays the guitar, Chica doesn't really do much. And speaking of Chica, we're moving on to her anyways. So like, you really can't say that they're all bad. Like, nothing goes in like the bottom tier. I don't even know why we have a G tier. Why do we have a G tier? Let's delete that. Why do we have an E? Yeah, no, E. Okay, there we go. S, A, B, C, D, F. Chica is okay. Chica's fine. She is scary, and I think it's interesting though that she does have the cupcake with her. Like the cupcake is not its own person in this. Yeah. So I can't rate the cupcake differently, even though I wouldn't rate the cupcake high. I think his name is Carl, that a lot of people call him. So Chica, she's scary. She fiddles around in the kitchen on the first game, so you really can't see what she's doing. It's kind of like Bonnie. She has like, she appears up onto your side. If I think on the second night, she starts appearing. Because the first night nothing really happens. Bonnie is the first one to come up when animatronics are, starting to roam around, and then Chica, either she starts like at the end of the second night and more into the third night. But comparing her to Bonnie, she doesn't really have anything that stands out. She's just like literally like a normal animatronic. She doesn't like in the actual original games, she doesn't throw the cupcake at you or anything crazy like that. So I'm gonna say I'm stuck between B and C. I'm gonna go with B because she's more of a classic, but she's a basic animatronic in terms of her functionality and what she can actually do. Nothing much really triggers her. Like Freddy has like the if you run out of power. So Bonnie's a good B. I'm gonna stick with that. Then we're going to Foxy. I could just straight up move Foxy to S because, like I said, him and Bonnie are my favorite, but I think it's going to be more than that. He is going in the S tier because, just like Freddy, he has his own thing that triggers him. Foxy slowly comes out of Pirate Cove and he sprints down the hall. Nothing more scarier than an animatronic sprinting after you. And I did see some other tier lists where they're like all the characters, including the movie ones, but this is just the video games. So Bonnie and Foxy, I almost said Freddy. Bonnie and Foxy are a good S tier for me. And even with, if you really want to take account for the lore, the kid who possesses Foxy and his story behind that makes Foxy probably the most aggressive character. Aggressive, I don't know how to speak. Most violent one of all, because he literally has like a sharp hook that he could just rip you apart with. So, and I'm not like moving. I can't. I'm not gonna do this. I don't care who's in front of who. That doesn't really matter to me. So they're both equally in S tier. So I guess that's it. Yeah. Golden Freddy. I want to say he's kind of like Freddy in terms of like why he's scary, but I don't know. I really can't say much. I think he scares you a couple times, but I think if I remember correctly, he doesn't. Once he like pops up on your screen, it's not like it's game. Oh wait, no, it is game over, right? I think so. It's been so long. But I gotta put him up with Freddy just because he only pops up, and if it's yeah. So it's not like the second game where he just sits in your office. It's the Freddy screen, Golden Freddy screen. So just like Freddy, he pops up, kills you. It's really cool though. I like it, especially when you first played the game back in 2014. You just were like, what the hell just happened? And didn't even think that had like a big story behind it. So Golden Freddy is going to be an A. And then we move on to the phone guy. Listen, I could say for jokes he is an S tier, and I gotta put him with B just because he doesn't play much into the game itself, but in the story he tells you everything. Like, even though they are pre-recorded tapes, he's iconic. You know him, you know the hello. But B tier, just because of he doesn't really play much. He does kind of scare you a little bit, you know, being like, oh yeah, we know the animatronics do these things, but we're just not gonna help you with that. So B is a respectable place to put him. I could put him in A, but he's not even an animatronic, so like a B for that kind of character I feel like is good enough. I don't hate him. He's really funny. I like the memes, but I feel like B is good. Now we're going on to Five Nights at Freddy's 2. And now we got the toys. Let's see here. Toy Freddy. Toy Freddy is scary. I feel like a lot of the Freddys are going to be in like an A tier just because they're not like special in their way. Like Freddy pops up later in the later nights, but he's bound to get you regardless. There's nothing there. It's not like the first one where if you run out of power he attacks you. So I think I'm gonna put him in a B actually, just because like there's nothing that triggers him. Like in the second one, you don't run out of power, you run out of flashlight, and that's when Foxy kills you because you can't flash him. Freddy, though, you can only use the mask to defend yourself, so not really much putting it there. He is scary, though, with his dark black eyes popping out of nowhere, just like the Wizards. So I feel like B is a good spot. Now we're going on to Toy Bonnie. Toy Bonnie is, I would want to say, very iconic for his look, because compared to the original Bonnie, you just never thought that he was supposed to be blue, because in the first one, with how the textures are and the colors and all that, it makes him look purple. And then when Scott said no, he's supposed to be blue, it makes a lot more sense. But in the first game, I think it's clear that he is purple, but that is literally just because like the lighting and stuff like that. So like compared to the movie, it's a really different type of blue. But this one, he is straight blue. There's nothing there to change your eyes. So, but also him hiding in the vent, you know, you can see him, you can hear the vent. He's spooky. There's only one way to get rid of him, which is to put on the mask and wait for him to go there. Sometimes he can creep up on you, like he's just creepy in his own way. And I feel like I do kind of like him compared to like the other ones, just because overall look, overall functionality, he's probably my favorite toy out of the group. So I feel like A with the Freddys is a very respectable first Bonnie to actually be in an A tier. So A is really good for him. So now we're going down to Toy Chica. Listen, I know a lot of people have their thoughts about her in good and bad ways and would have a reason to put her in the S tier, but I feel like she's kind of like Toy Bonnie. She crawls in the vents. I'm not even going to comment on how she looks, just because I know a lot of people would have a certain reasoning on why they would like Toy Chica. And this is Toy Chica without the beak too. Like I remember trying to make a thumbnail with her in it, and all I can find were the ones without her beak. Like her beak is clean off. Like it's not ripped or torn or anything, it's just clean off. Like she was built without it. So I kind of like it. I believe for you to get rid of her, I think it's the same as Bonnie, where you have to wear the mask, but she doesn't like pop up and go across your screen. I think it's literally just you have to put the mask on and wait for her to leave, which is a little bit more tempting. What's the word? I don't know the word. It makes her look more tough, I guess. I don't know what to say, like what the word would be, but because you have to wear your mask and you don't know how long that's going to take. So I feel like other than that, B would be a good spot with the other Chica. I'm probably going to get roasted for putting her at B, but hey, listen, it's respectable. Like, none of these characters are bad. I don't think I'm going to put anyone in the F as far as these go, so let's head over to Mangle. Mangle is a character. Knowing the lore and knowing that she is actually, because that's the thing though, it, like, people say, because I think, yeah, she's a Funtime Foxy, and Foxy, I think kinetically is a male, but people refer to Mangle as a female or a non-binary, because when the second game out, you did not know that she was supposed to be Foxy in a way. Like, so I don't know. I'm just gonna go with what everyone else says, because everyone says that, knowing that she is Foxy. So Foxy, toys. It's weird because they're animatronics, but I'm trying to go by from the games and what they say, and I forget what it is. But Foxy, aka Mangle, is, knowing the lore, it's very confusing. But once you are told that Mangle is Funtime Foxy, but they were used to, I think, be able to be dismantled by the children to kind of have them play and build their own animatronic, and having them leave Mangle with two heads is pretty scary. And she, Mangle can also just climb the freaking ceiling and get you, and the noises Mangle makes is crazy. So I want to say Mangle is definitely going to be an A, because Mangle is also just very scary. In the game, she's down the hall with Foxy. You're kind of intimidated. That's the word I was thinking of for Chica's, being more imitating. So I think that's a good spot for Mangle. Balloon Boy, I hate Balloon Boy. Never have liked him. Not even because of a bad character, but just overall, I don't like him because he tries to go after the batteries. He's very difficult to handle, and I'm surprised I wasn't even able to finish that game, because he's just a little punk. I'm gonna go with C just because he's annoying. And he tries to go after the batteries, and there are some times where I flash him, and then, or no, I don't flash him, but I wear the mask and he still gets my batteries. So, but as an animatronic, he's not bad. I don't know the lore behind him, because I don't know who possesses him and all that kind of stuff. So C, because of my little knowledge, but also my hatred towards him. Okay, so the name just came to me. I remember it's JJ. And JJ is literally the female version of BB, Balloon Boy. I don't know what JJ stands for, actually, but I know that she was not a character in the game. She's just an Easter egg. So, kind of with Balloon Boy, she's kind of pointless. It's kind of fun to being oh yeah, she's there, but she's not there. So, and I would assume that she kind of has a functionality like Balloon Boy, at least not in the game, but probably in real life if they were real. But as an Easter egg, that kind of demotes her, just because she's not useful at all in the second game. Custom Night is completely different, I think, because I think that's JJ as well, where she, was oh, there's a new character coming, and just throws you off. But for FNAF 2, D, just, yeah. Okay, now we're getting into the other ones. Okay, let's see. We got Marionette. Oh, Marionette. What do I want to say? I don't. The character is great. I like the character. I like the lore aspect of it. But I hate how I have to hold the freaking. Keep winding the music box to keep the puppet at ease. Because it's in the jump scare factor. You know that you're going to get jump scared because then the puppet starts playing the music. It's kind of like, okay, I know it's going to happen. It doesn't come out of nowhere. But it is scary, though. It is scary. And having to deal with the animatronics and deal with the music box, I'm going to put it at B just because it makes the game more difficult. And I don't know, something about the mask actually kind of looks pretty cool because you know that it's the crying child. It's crazy, though. Not much reasoning for that one, but that's fine. Now we get into the Withers. Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Withered Foxy. We're going to go with Freddy. I want to say... Is he an A? I don't think he's an A. A is... I think A is too much for him. I think I'm going to have a lot of B. Just because he's not as... At least I think he is not as functional in... Unless you get to the later nights. But I want to say because... I'm just going to put them all here. I think at least these three for the Withers are B tier just because they all have the same functionality where they just, you know, make their way towards you and you have to put on the mask or they close your laptop. They pretty much have all the same functions. Bonnie, though, is honestly probably the scariest one, but I'm not going to make that change my mind at all. They're all pretty equal in terms of the gameplay. Foxy, though, I've died a lot of times when I was recording Five Nights at Freddy's 2 to Foxy. And as annoying and as scary as his jump scare is, I gotta put him up with the A's just because he... Actually, no. Should I do A or should I do S? I'm gonna go with S. Because he's the scariest one in the second game. And it makes it much more scary when you can't use your flashlight because it just like bugs out or something like that. So, and I've died to him so many times, so I got to put him up there for his kill count. His look isn't that bad, not terrible, but overall I think I just gotta put him with the other Foxy because he's a bitch, but I gotta give him credit. Now we're going to Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy as himself is a really cool thing when I was first playing it. You know, I think he's RNG, like he's random. And you never know when he's going to pop up. Because, yeah, this is the only one. So him being limp in his, you know, in your office... I still don't know how to get rid of him. I think I just got lucky when he popped up. But then I would literally start the night, 12 a.m., 5 seconds later, he would come out from the tunnel and just jump scare me with his giant head. So there's that part for the game. But for the lore, honestly, I love his part. So I got to put him up at the A because the lore is carrying him, I would say. You know... having what people would say is Cassidy, but then people say it's, I think, Dave or Evan. There's a lot of people that were told to be haunting Freddy, but I think it's also crazy because then I was listening to Matt Pat, I think it was Matt Pat or Tom, one of them, for Game Theory. Their theory was that the reason why Golden Freddy isn't moving and stuff like that is because the soul, whoever possesses Golden Freddy, is like stuck there. Like they can't leave. So having it being represented by him being limp and not moving at all is really interesting to me. So I think A is a good fit for him. Now we get into, what are these ones? Phantom Freddy. Oh wait, I think we're into the third game now. Yeah, I think I know Shadow Bonnie's in the third one. Yeah, okay. No. These are the two. I don't know. I don't remember the Purple Freddy. I'm gonna go with, for the mini games, is what this was supposed to be. So for the mini games, I think it's kind of interesting though, because then you don't know who this guy is. You're just like, oh, there's a Purple Freddy. What's happening? And he leads you to your ultimate doom. So at least when you first play it. So I gotta no, because now this is very confusing to me, because the only time I've ever seen Purple Freddy is in the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 mini game where he's luring you to your death. So I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments, but I think I'm just gonna go off of that and stick him with a C, just because he's only in the mini games, but also he leads you to your death and lets you get killed by another purple figure that is not on this list, which is insane. There's so many Five Nights at Freddy character tier lists, but this is just the animatronics, so like that kind of makes sense. Shadow Bonnie, I really like. I'm gonna keep him with the C because he's also just in the mini game, kind of, for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. But also when you complete that mini game, there's like a little figurine on your desk, which I think is kind of cool. I never even noticed that before I actually made the video to, complete them. So you got that going for him. He's also just overall creepy. Like, it's literally just a black silhouette with some teeth and eyes. It can't be, that's so scary, especially for playing that 10 years ago. So I got to keep him in C along with the other one. The endoskeleton, I'm not gonna rank because I don't know where that one is from. I haven't experienced him yet, unless it's just because I don't know if that's supposed to be just the endoskeleton or the mimic or anything like that, but I think I'm gonna rank it based on it being literally the skeleton of the animatronics. So I'm gonna put it with D just because of my little knowledge on it, and the animatronics wouldn't be the animatronics without that skeleton. So I think D is really reasonable based on what I know about it. Probably people would maybe rank it higher, it maybe at least a C, but that's fine with me. Springtrap, S tier. Favorite villain, love him so much. I like the outfit, I like the story, his lore, amazing. One of the best villain lore out there. That's all I can really say. I really like him. You can't beat Springtrap. Like, as a villain, like his knowing that there's like a dead body in him, possessing him, like a physical body, is just insane. So now we go into the Phantoms. Phantom, Freddy, Chica, and Foxy. And is it? Phantom? Yeah. I'm just gonna bring all these ones at once. Freddy, I guess when I first started playing Five Nights at Freddy's 3, it was a little bit difficult because I would have the monitor up and it still wouldn't work, and then there'd be times where I would have the monitor down, switch over to the next one, and he would still be oblivious to what I was doing, so he wouldn't jump scare me. I'm gonna put him at C. He's not more than Shadow Bonnie. Was not working. Unless I put it there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So Phantom Freddy for C I think is really good because he doesn't actually kill me. Neither do all the Phantoms really. But I have my thoughts on the other ones. Phantom Freddy is scary. He does do a lot of jump scares, but I think he's one of the easiest to actually hide from once you know what you got to do. So C for Freddy is fine. Chica, don't know how to get rid of Chica. All I know is that when you look at the game cabinet in the game, she's on the screen, and then when you pull it down and you go over to the left is when she jump scares you. I don't know how to stop that. That's pretty freaking scary, especially with how rare she is. Like, if you ever even look in there, is how the rarity of her is. So, and when I first saw her, she really got me. So I feel like B, with all of the other Chicas, is pretty good, especially with the meme Watermelon Chica. B is pretty well deserved. Foxy, I'm gonna put him in A just because he was scary at first and I didn't know what to do with him. But then when I figured out, you know, if you like, 'cause I was never even careful with doing like without like I don't even know how to word this. I was never careful with him. I never, when I closed the monitor and went to the other side, I never actually checked to see if it was there. But then I would slowly go, because I was doing it pretty quickly. I would never actually get a chance to be like, oh, nope, got to avoid him. But then later in the nights and the more that I played, I got more used to him. So then he became less scary, but also kind of scary because he kind of like blends in with the background a little bit. So I would get scared just seeing his arm, being like, oh shit, no, go the other way. So then I would have to check the monitor, close it, and then go back and see if he would go away. So that's a lot on him. A tier. Yes. Mangle. Phantom Mangle. Freaking annoying as hell. Only based on the audio mess up that Mangle does. I don't hate it because of it. I just hate the noise that they make. Like, it's just pretty annoying. Which is the point. Like, it's also kind of scary because I have to fix the audio because then I can't lure Springtrap around. So, but that's only if you ever actually look in camera 4, I think it is. So once again, kind of like Chica, rare if you actually look in their room. But I'm going to keep it at C just because other than that, you know, you don't get really jump scared. Unless you just leave it there for a while, I think. I don't know. I've always been quick to fix the audio. But I've always noticed that I would see Mangle looking over the window in front of us when that happens. So it's kind of scary. Balloon Boy is gonna go with I'm gonna go with B for Phantom Balloon Boy because he's not as annoying as normal Balloon Boy, but he's also scarier. Because I would pop up him on the monitor, have to close it, and I would get scared by that just like alone. So, and then when I would be like, oh shit, I missed it, and he would jump scare me, like, God damn it, gotta go around doing everything again. So I think B for Phantom Balloon Boy is actually pretty good. This is not how I thought I would do this, but now that I'm actually thinking and having to actually use my brain, I'm not surprised that this is how it's looking. Literally got 2 Bonnies and 2 Foxies in S tier. Crazy. And we're going with the Puppet. Puppet, I want to put it in C just because I think it's camera 8 that they only appear in, and if you open that and it's there and you're not fast enough to close it, you'll get it. But I think I might put it up in B just because of when that happens, they take over your screen. You can't do anything. I think you also have to fix your ventilation, and it's probably like a 10-second thing that they do where they just take up your screen. So you have to also be listening to see if Springtrap is moving around and everything like that. So that just adds a lot more work to it. So I'm gonna have to put it in B. I would put it in A, but once again with some others, it's based on how, like, the certain camera that you look in. Now we're going into Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Now at this time that I am making this video, I have not made a video. Now I've made a video on Five Nights at Freddy's 4, but like that was years ago. So playing it professionally is a little bit different. But Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is most definitely my favorite game out of the first 4. Maybe in the first 5, actually, but I've never played Sister Location, so I wouldn't know. But I doubt that it's going to beat Five Nights at Freddy's 4. It was made to be the scariest. You get to see the bite of 83. That Mark thought it was the 87. And it's just different mechanics. So there's that. And this is Freddy. So, and it's Freddy with his little Fred babies. So I think I got to put him with A alone, because if I remember from when I played it on my PlayStation, which is crazy. I think I played it, yeah, because I think I had an Elgato that switched over, but I played it on PC and PlayStation, I believe. But the Fred babies alone, anxiety. I hate it. You have to constantly check, and if they're there, you know, if you wait too long, they get you. But Freddy himself is a little bit of a different story. I don't think I've ever had to interact with him, but I'm pretty sure that it's just as scary. But even with the Fred babies alone, A tier. I just, you can't be scary and not cause anxiety, right? So Bonnie, we got Nightmare Bonnie. Honestly though, I think Bonnie and Chica are gonna be A. I gotta put them in A. They're similar, where they both come up on your sides of your room. Nothing most is different. You gotta listen for both of them. You get jump scared if you're wrong. I think they're pretty equal in terms of functionality. Again, gotta think of that. Scariness though, I don't know. I want to say, even though Chica has like more teeth and different colored eyes, Bonnie is just a little bit more scary. But nonetheless, they're pretty equal. So I'm gonna go with A. Foxy is gonna go in A as well, because I don't want to fill up my S tier with all Foxies, but also because of him hiding in the closet. He adds a little bit more of a scare factor, because you have to constantly check the closet. You have to make sure that he stays in plushie form. And I haven't played Five Nights at Freddy's 4 in years, so hopefully when I do play it soon, because I'm almost done with Five Nights at Freddy's 3, I might change it. But I think this is probably going to be the only video that I make for the tier list, at least for the first 4. So because I don't think that playing the games are going to change my mind. But overall, I think literally Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is a good base for all the characters. Fredbear is something. Nightmare Fredbear. Because I know that in Night 5, he's the only animatronic they have to worry about. So he's not there often. And I think he pops up in the other nights if you let the Fred babies go too long without checking on him. I could be wrong. But I'm going to put him in B just because of that. He's not like actually scary, but I'm pretty sure that when I play the game and I get jump scared by him, I'll be super scared. So I think B, middle of the road, kind of. Yeah, it's actually, yeah, middle of the road. Pretty good. Then we get, oh shoot, what's his name? I think that's Nightmare. That's just Nightmare. Yeah. I was gonna say, he looks like Lefty, and it's not Nightmare Lefty, it's just Nightmare. Never had to deal with him, as far as I remember. But he seems like that he's just kind of like Nightmare Fredbear. So I'm gonna put him in B. I'm not gonna put him any lower because I don't know a lot of stuff about him, but I'm pretty sure that he's just like Nightmare Fredbear, so he's gonna chill with him. And then Plushtrap, I gotta, honestly though, I think I'm gonna put him in C. He's kind of scary, but playing the minigame, he does give you an advantage if you actually get him to land on it. But I also believe that that is actually pretty easy to do, at least for me. So it's not really scary. Gotta still hear him. So I think C is pretty good for a mini game. It's really interesting. And he does jump scary if you are late. But that doesn't really change my thought of him. So C is pretty good. And then, okay, we got a couple more here. I haven't played the Halloween updated game. So these two, I would assume, are the same as normal Nightmare Bonnie and Chica. I could be wrong, but I think that's what it is. But I honestly kind of don't like the design. Because it's like, yeah, I know it's supposed to be for Halloween. It's like, oh, they're orange and it's Jacko Bonnie and Jacko Chica. The creativity is a little bit lost for me there. But I love Halloween. I got married on Halloween. The best I can really do, though, is... No, not you. The best I can do is a C tier. So we're going to move on to Nightmare Mangle. I don't think because when I played, I was not good at the game. So I never got far. So I never had to deal with Nightmare Mangle. Shoot. So I'm thinking that if I've never had to deal with them, I'm going to put them in C. Because I don't know how Mangle works. I don't know if it's different from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Mangle or Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I don't know. So I feel like C is the middle of the road. I don't hate it. It doesn't look bad. Just never had to deal with her. So then we got Nightmare Puppet, whatever you want to call it. I think when I first played and I would get jump scared by this one, it was probably one of the scariest, like scarier than the animatronics. So I think for that, it's got to be an A. I'm taking scare factor seriously because that's the whole point of it, especially the fourth game. It's supposed to be the scariest Five Nights at Freddy's game. And man, that scared the shit out of me when I would play it. So like, I got to put that there. I've had to deal with Nightmare Balloon Boy, but not in the official game. So, because I think I had to deal with it in the glitched attraction, which was hard enough, and maybe it's the same way, but I'm gonna put him in C just because I never had to deal with him. Don't hate him. Scary as hell in the in the glitch attraction, so I would think he's scary in the fourth one as well. But C, I think is pretty good. And I think that's it. That is Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics 1 through 4 tier list. I don't know what to say. Like, my S's are pretty biased just because they're like my favorite, but I've had my own reasonings for these. A's I think pretty good. Don't want to put any of the Freddys in the S tier just because of it's named after him and all that kind of stuff. And then you got some scary ones. B, middle of the road, scary, but like limited reason on why they scare you, or like how you can stop them and like that. C, never really had to deal with them, or just not a lot of usage in their games. Maybe only just for the story, or at least for Balloons Boy's case, I hate them. So, and then D, never had to see them, never dealt with them, don't really know much about them. So none of them in the F's though, only because as far as I know, I don't hate any of the characters. So this is my official Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 4 tier list. If you want to roast me, I don't care. This is my video. I say this is the best tier list ever made. Probably not. But if you agree with me, let me know in the comments below as well, because maybe we can agree to disagree. Maybe we can agree on some stuff. So maybe if I put a little bit more thought into some of the characters. But I think it's fine. This is already like a 45-minute recording, and I've had to use my brain a lot, and it's been a while since I played the first game, so there was like some things here and there. Freshly minded on the Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is like living in my head rent-free, so I can't wait to play that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me judging and ranking these animatronics. So I think I might, once I play the other games, I think I'll come back to this. But for right now, the original 4, because I feel like the 5th one, Sister Location, is with the originals, but just a little bit of outside, where it's a little bit different. So I think the 1 through 4 on their own is their own little category. And I think I like it. I don't think I'm going to change anything. Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.